Hello everyone, I'm Marcie and this is Jen.
Hi.
And hope you all had a wonderful weekend. We just wanted to talk to you about a few things. So
Yep. A lot of the questions we get from new members or potential members is, how do I get started? And this is a video that's going to cover exactly that. How do I get started? What's the first step? And where do I take it from there? Is a consultation right for me? A protocol? Should I work through the kits? And this is going to cover some of the most common questions surrounding those topics. And well, the first step, honestly, is membership. To sign up, either through the website, or if you have any problems, call the office, call the clinic, or the pharmacy staff, and speak to one of them, and they can help you out.
becoming a member isn't as big of an issue as we hope it sounds like. It's just basically joining something that it's beneficial to you, it's beneficial to us, it helps protect everyone involved. And so when we say you need to join, it's basically a lot of people get confused about the fee and
Yes.
and all of that stuff, and basically there's not really a
There's no fee. You get
Yeah.
it right back through an email coupon that you can use towards your first order or any order. So essentially it costs you nothing. It just requires you, the easiest way is to go to drmarcesherbalhealthclub.com. If you became a member somewhere between June of last year and February of this year, you're already a member, honestly, so you should have gotten a re-invite email that you just had to click on to accept the invitation, and you don't have to go through any additional steps really. But if you signed up when the new website was initiated in, I think it was February this year, then you would need to go through the whole process of just click the button to become a member. It only takes a few minutes and you're all set. Your account is completed once you complete the $10 payment, and you'll know that's been successful once you get that email coupon. So just remember, you need to take it all the way through past setting up the free account and completing the payment to show that you are indeed a member, and that's how our staff, honestly is notified, and then we can answer all your questions.
Exactly. This gives us free reign to talk to you about situations more personalized to you, maybe what you're dealing with and going through, and not just on a general basis.
Right. We want to help you. We want to help you start working on your issues, but our information is relatively limited until you can complete that membership and have that member number. And we can always verify that. It's just a matter of us taking a couple minutes to look you up in the system and actually verify that. Which brings us to the next thing, unless you have anything else you want
No.
to.
Well, the only thing that I would add is a lot of people get worried about this, and if you think about it, not that we ever want to compare ourselves with a doctor's office or anything like that, but if you were to call in and start giving the nurse or somebody your situation or your issues, they would ask you if you're a patient. They would ask you, they wouldn't probably even really talk to you about much of anything without an appointment. And so, especially over the phone. And so this membership just gives us the ability to start chatting with you and talking with you and finding out where you're coming from and what information that you need and where you are on the whole grand scheme of things. So
Right. And pretty much that brings you, once you've made the connection with us and you want to review your options, you're now able to do that since you're a member. You don't really know if a protocol or a consultation is where you want to go or proceed with, or if you should just start working with the herbs, selecting your own things, which is fantastic. Honestly, if you want to start with a counselor, like with Marcie or myself, the first step is completing the health questionnaire, and that is available on the website in multiple areas, or you can contact someone in the office to email you a copy. Again, we will need to verify your membership because no appointments or anything can be scheduled until the membership is verified and the health questionnaire is received. But it's basically that one form along with membership that's necessary to secure an appointment, and the assistants are very, very helpful.
oh yes.
Marcie's assistant is Megan, and her email is her first name, Megan, M-E-G-A-N, at dmhhc.com. And Elizabeth is mine, and she also helps Dr. Morse too. And her name is, of course, Elizabeth at dmhhc.com. And Maria's going to be helping them a bit too because of the workload.
That's right. Our workload is quite a bit increased, and so Maria's going to be helping out. And really, Maria and Elizabeth and Megan are absolutely phenomenal. If you work with them at all, you're going to know this. Their patience and their just their organization. They keep me in line for sure.
Yep.
I'm lost without Megan, so and I'm sure Jen feels the same.
Yep.
So.
Without Elizabeth, Robert, Dr. Morse, and I really wouldn't be able to know where we're going to be at for the day. So, just give them ample time to answer you. It usually takes about 48 hours to verify your membership once you've sent in the paperwork. So just be patient with them, and they'll contact you and get you settled. Once you get the health questionnaire, we do encourage you guys to send in any lab work if it's available. Iris photos are fantastic, especially if you can't make it here in person.
And we will probably be, I know Megan and I did a video on how to take an eye photo.
Video.
We may be updating that just because for whatever reason people are still struggling with understanding the eye photos, and so we may update that soon just to go into a little more depth as to the placement of things and how to do that. So
I've been trying to test out some iPhone apps, camera apps, to see if I can achieve some kind of quality. If I find anything, I will let you know. So.
And for those of you that are practitioners and stuff, they've got some really neat attachments that you can actually attach to do specifically eye photos of that kind of thing. That I've seen a few of them that they look pretty amazing. So if you're not ready to invest fully into an expensive camera right away, you could try some of those at first to try to get that done.
I guess that some of the Nikon cameras, the newer ones, when a member does send in an absolutely fantastic photo and they didn't go to an iridologist to get it, I asked them, what camera did you use? And it was usually a Nikon camera, maybe with a macro lens attachment, or a friend was able to do it, but not many of us have friends like that.
I kind of love to do photography, more nature, and I have a macro lens, and it's pretty amazing what that can do for you, just adding that attachment. So.
All right, and then once we get all the paperwork,
one other point on the paperwork and stuff, basal temps. Basal temps are very important because you can have a lot of people who think they have thyroid issues. I have found this the case anyway, and their body temperatures are normal. They're in that 97.8 to 98.2 range, yet they're freezing all the time. And this can be an indication of an area in the central nervous system called ego pressure that could be more affected, more the hypothalamus and stuff, it controls body temperature, and your thyroid isn't really too much into play yet at that point. And so the basal temps can tell an awful lot if you can get those to us. Another thing is if you're Skyping and we don't have you in office, it would be great to have your blood pressures done on both arms, and so that we can know those, because normally when you come to the office we do blood pressures and stuff, where if you're Skyping we don't have the opportunity to do that. And those basal temps, the labs, and also I understand that the pH strips are not a bottom guaranteed thing, but understanding the saliva pH and the urine pH, I use those a lot to kind of go as a reference on a few areas of the body, not all, but a few, and understand they can be off. If you're too acidic, that can be pushing base out, and so you can't go by that 100%, but I do use it a lot for some areas of the body. So
very good.
If you could get that stuff in, especially if you're Skyping, get some of that information into us also.
Yep, all very helpful, and gives us a better idea of where you stand at that first appointment, and then we can take it from there with suggestions.
Yep.
And then once we have all of that, often hear Megan and Elizabeth recommend starting with that first deep tissue cleansing kit, weeks 1 and 2.
Yes.
It will suggest it to every single person to get started with it. That just helps us see where you're at once you start talking with us. It will
How
actually
you
help
respond to the herbs.
Exactly. It will really make your consultation that much more productive. And we're going to recommend it anyway, so if you can get started on that immediately, that is awesome. Dr. Morse designed those kits, as they are for a reason, and that first kit really opens the gates, so to speak.
In fact, the first kits have the liver detox in it, and it's got the Parasite M and Parasite G that anyone getting started on a detox really needs at first. So that's one of the reasons why, regardless of whether you're coming in person to see us, or you're Skyping or telephone conferencing with us, Jen and I, even Robert, we always recommend that kit 1 and 2 first. And if you've already completed it, then when we talk, we can just jump that much quicker into addressing,
the more specific, more personalized. So get started. And then, of course, the diet, 100% raw is what we want. High fruits, berries, melons. You've heard him drill that into you with the videos, and that is really what's going to help you achieve what your health goals. Honestly, do you have anything that you tell your people?
The only thing that and it's not a caution, obviously this is where your goal to end up is, but if somebody comes to me and their immune system is hypersensitive, or their adrenals, they're in complete adrenal fatigue, they may need to take things a little slower, jumping into things. The only way to test that really is to jump in and find out. But if you're a type of person where the minute you put a piece of fruit in your mouth, you start breaking out in hives, or you start feeling nauseous or sick to your stomach or whatnot, your body is very, very sensitive. And we may need to go a little slower. Start out with eliminating certain things first. I would start out with your animal proteins first. Those are one of the most acidic things that you could put in your body, and the stress on the kidneys are with the animal protein is a big one. Next, I would go to your dairies, getting rid of your dairy. Some people like to get rid of the dairy first because it's an easier step for them. Those are kind of hand in hand. Those two on my little chart of taboos and worst. I always get more of an immune response off the dairy than I do the animal proteins if I'm going to eat them. But that's just my body and how I respond, and the acids can take a little longer. The animal protein, I start dripping and sneezing and everything right away if I've eaten anything with dairy in it. So I notice that more, but it's actually the animal proteins that are a little harsher on the body. And so you may have to start off a little slower. You may need to do more cooked foods at first. Cooked vegetables, I should say, at first, a little steamed. You can steam them lightly to take that little bit of an edge off and work yourself into a position. I have somebody said, but I'm allergic to this and I'm allergic to that and I'm allergic to the other thing. Your body's going to adjust. Once you start cleaning yourself out, your body's going to adjust, and that orange that caused you to blow up like a balloon last week may not next week. And so your body is there to become friends with it. Learn what it's trying to tell you, and learn when it says more and learn when it says less. If you're craving a candy bar, it's probably not the body talking too much. But if you're doing high fruits and for whatever reason you are craving vegetables and you're breaking out and things like that, your body may be saying, let's slow down just a little bit. Our goal is to detox you as healthy as possible. We don't want to throw you into where you're not getting able to work, you're not surviving, you can't get through your day. That's not our goal at all. Some of our clients may think that, but that's definitely not our goal. So.
No, I'm more of a step taker myself. I have to eliminate things gradually. It's those cravings and all the bad stuff, it's always there. Yes, kind of haunting me, and that's just it. If I throw myself into it, I'm only going to last for like 2 days.
Right.
I know And then I don't want to do that. So
Yeah.
steps are okay. Everybody's different. Some people have reached that level where they can, you know, go in
Yeah.
head first and they're fine. But others, you
Yeah.
know, were more acidic, and I know I can't go hard with the detox right now because I need to be here at work. So we do understand. We
Oh,
can
yeah.
relate.
I was Skyping 2 weeks ago and literally fighting nausea through the whole Skype session.
Oh.
So, I mean, we go through this ourselves.
Right.
It's not that we're just sitting here telling you all what to do. We fight this on a regular basis. And remember, willpower starts at the grocery store.
Yes.
If you don't bring it home, then it's not there to cheat on.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's something I've definitely had to find out.
And it helps. Don't shop with your kids and your husband.
Oh yeah, or when you're hungry.
Or when you're hungry, exactly.
Or when you're craving chocolate.
Or bread.
Or bread.
All right, so that is pretty much the summarization of what you can do to get started with the counselor. Protocols are also an option. They're available through Dr. Morse. There's a 14-week protocol, an iris analysis with a 14-week protocol that comes with a detailed report, and just the iris analysis. You have that option, and you can also purchase an additional 6 to 8 week protocol with that. But you know, it gives you a good comprehensive review of your issues based on the health questionnaire, lab work, any of that additional information you send over, the iris photos. The good thing is, you know, if you send them to Elizabeth or Megan, if they don't feel that the eye photo quality is going to be good enough for the analysis, they will tell you, and you have that opportunity to get better photos before we submit it to Dr. Morse for him to actually write out that detailed report. So
We've gotten some amazing photographs from actual clients. This isn't where we're expecting you to go out and spend money on your
Right.
eye doctor taking your photos, that kind of thing. You can, with patience and understanding what we're looking for, and I tell people all the time, between what Robert's put on videos and just even going to Google Images and typing in iridology, you'll see the type of photo that we're going for, the clarity that needs to be there, the non-blurry photos.
Right, yeah,
that
too
kind
dark.
of thing. Or too dark.
Right.
You'll see that, and you'll see the type so that you are getting and capturing exactly what we're looking for.
Yeah, and I did speak with someone last week. She's brown-eyed and having trouble getting her photos. Brown eyes are some of the
Yes.
hardest eyes to take photos of. So brown-eyed people out there, don't sweat it. Your eyes are difficult. Yes, blue eyes, you should not have a problem. And remember, there's blue or brown.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, just brown-eyed people keep trying.
Yeah.
keep trying. You might need that extra light. And when she makes her next video, you know, she'll have some helpful tips for you. But yeah, that's the kicker I've noticed. We notice
Yeah.
that when we take the eye photos, even here in the clinic with the brown-eyed members, that you know they need that little extra focus and you know extra light,
Yeah.
and attention. Correct.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
But yeah, when you're sending in your paperwork for the protocol, again, that health questionnaire will verify the membership. As Marcie mentioned before, the basal temps, the blood pressure, even the pH, all of that is very, very helpful for your questionnaire. It saves us from having to go back and ask you later or holding off on something in your recommendations because we
Right.
don't know.
Right.
So, and if you can get that, that would be fantastic. If you need some additional suggestions as to, you know, where you could, I mean, most grocery stores, at least here in the US, you can get your blood pressure
Yeah. Yeah.
there. I do not recommend doing that after you just ran around the store, especially Walmart.
Or if your
That's-
kids are with you.
Yeah, that's stressful enough, so don't do that. But yeah, try to get it at home or from your
And
last
those
doctor visit.
pharmacies, you will not catch anything. They're not contagious. You can go within 5 feet of. That's where most of them have them set up. Is
Yep.
right outside the pharmacy. So
Right next to the Dr. Scholl's foot thing.
Yeah.
Pretty much. At least that's what I've seen. So you can definitely use that or from, you know, your most recent doctor visit if you see a doctor. And yeah, you can definitely do that. But it is very, very helpful if you can include that on your paperwork. And pretty much once we have everything, your membership's verified, that is when the assistants will ask you, to submit your payment depending on the protocol option you selected. Once we have that in hand, then we give this to Dr. Morse. We say it takes 2 to 3 weeks for him to complete these, because he likes to put, detailed time and effort into it, and it depends on how many he has coming home to him.
Right.
I know our next class is coming up, the International School Detoxification Level 1, in the end of next month, and is it the 27th?
Yeah, and I want to put out there about the class. This isn't just for those who are thinking about being a practitioner.
No.
If you're concerned with your health at all, I mean, remember, your health is not going to get better by chance. It's going to get better by choice. And if you're at all concerned about your health, or any of your family members, or just being able to be impactful in helping those around you get healthy, this is amazing for understanding more about the body, how the body works, how our body responds to foods, and that kind of thing. If you are, let's say you have a car that takes premium unleaded fuel, and you put diesel fuel in it, that car is not going to run for very well for very long.
No, it's not.
And just understanding your body and what goes in, that's very necessary. And this is a great first step to starting to understand your body and what's going to make you healthier, and what you can do to impact those around you in health also.
Yeah, because we do have quite a few people that, they come for those practitioner reasons.
Yep.
They want to start something on their own, but they also, come for themselves, for their family, and they just want to improve their overall quality of life and their health, and they want to do right by their kids. So whatever your reason, feel free to join us. But
Right. And as I'm sure, you've probably heard Robert say this numerous times, but in our world today, what we are typically doing is not working. And it's time to look at things from a perspective of, okay, how am I designed, and what's best to get me back to how I'm supposed to work.
Right, exactly.
So,
Get back to the basics.
Yeah.
Step 1.
yeah, absolutely.
But with that class coming up, I know I had said, that 2 to 3 week time frame for protocols, we do offer, the eye photos and iris reports at the class.
Yes.
So during these class times, whether it's level 1 in the spring, level 2 in the fall, he's got a lot of reports for those students to do. So that time frame is probably going to expand a bit, maybe out to 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
He tries to, manage his time well and balance out who he gets out, but I will say allow a little bit more time at the end of the month to get those done. But normally it's 2 to 3 weeks, and if it's less time, we get it right out to you. That way you can really get started. And again, start with that first detox kit. He's going to recommend it anyway. Your diet, you don't have to wait for the herbs to start eating right. If you do anything, start that immediately, whether it's just changing one meal at a time, eliminating meat, only eliminating dairy, it's just something. Because again, it's a step in the right direction, and that's what you want to do. So that is pretty much summarizes, again, the protocols, unless you have something to add.
No, not really. I will reiterate that it doesn't take an appointment to start changing things. I read a statement the other day. The moment you start taking responsibility for everything is the moment that you can start changing anything.
Right.
So even just switching, I remember when I first started this, I tried switching to almond milk because that was really the only step that I knew.
Yeah.
And this is a family where I'm ashamed to admit it, but we would go through 6 to 7 gallons of milk a week.
Well, you lived in Indiana, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we had a cow sitting on the back porch just saying, fill her up. No, but just that simple change to almond milk. Kids didn't like it.
Yeah.
Husband didn't like it, but it created a little bit more awareness. And I had to. I went for 10 years with chronic sinus infection, and just switching out dairy, getting rid of dairy. And within 6 months, I've never had a flare-up since.
And then
Never. And that was 3.5 years ago. And so,
I've noticed the same thing with Matthew. My 12-year-old son he loves his milk and his cheese and everything else. So as soon as I cut that out, he pretty much, it cleared up. But the amount of junk he was
Yes.
pulling out, I mean, he's at that point now. He asks for his herbs when he feels
yes.
congestion and everything getting loosened up. He's pulling out some of the most disgusting stuff, but it's coming out, and he's not allergic to cats
Yeah.
or animals anymore. That is completely gone, and so now he can enjoy spending the night at his uncle's house with the
Yeah.
cat as much as he wants. So it's all very positive
Yeah.
things. So right there,
Yeah.
just those little things. Like
And
you
remember,
said,
a first step for you can be a first step for many around you.
like you said, for your family,
Yep.
that whole change.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't hesitate. Just start with something. It's better than nothing.
That's right.
All right. And I guess, of course, as always, we're here when you need it. All of us in the clinic, the pharmacy, as counselors, every staff member is here for you when you need it. And we know there are a lot of you, so we do the best that we can on a daily basis. We are a small office of, how many are we? 15?
Oh, we've upped the ante on that one.
How many?
I counted almost 20 the other day.
Okay, so we're about 20 people. I know we keep adding people,
Yeah.
which is good. It's a
Yeah,
very good
it's
thing.
good.
But we're only about 20 people. So, as you know, Dr. Morse's YouTube videos are out there. They're an excellent educational and resource tool for you to learn as much as you can. It's assistive to your detox process, and also we love it when you come into a consultation and you've seen the videos and you understand what we're trying to tell you, really, what we expect and what you can expect, and you can learn from the experience. So get into those videos as much as you can as well. And of course, Dr. Morse's Detox Miracle Source book. That comes with some of the protocols too,
Yeah.
but if you can get into reading that as well,
Yes.
again, it's just another thing that you can learn from.
And it is a book that I have never, ever regretted buying and purchasing. It is a font of knowledge. In fact, you read through it and you'll pick up certain things, and then you go back through it and you read again and you're like, oh, I didn't catch that the first time.
Right.
Or it reiterates and you need to hear something for the second time. It's just, it's there, it's full of things. I find myself going back, even at this level, going back and like, what was he saying about that? Or what did he have in his book about that? And so it's a great source. Plus, gaining knowledge yourself and not just relying on everyone else. Understand that you need to learn the truth about these things also, and that typically at our fingertips are tons of opinions, but understanding the truth about how to be healthy for you, yourself, your family, and those around you, you're not going to find that through the media. You're not typically going to find that through companies where the dollar sign is what drives their research. And so trying to find some of these things out on your own and from people who really care about you and are trying to get the truth out there is a great way to gain more understanding about that.
Right. And I think we all have a copy of that book at our desks.
Oh,
Every single
yeah.
staff member, it's a good resource tool for us as well. And always referencing. I have little
Yes.
tabbies on mine, breaking up the sections, and it's a mess with sticky notes and
I
highlighting.
have one in Indiana, I have one on my desk here, and I have one at my home. So if I ever have a question,
It's there.
it's there.
Exactly.
I'm gonna get one of those little pocket size ones where I can reference.
I need to put it. I need to see if it's available for Kindle. Can you believe I
Oh.
haven't done that yet? I should totally see. It's a lot easier to carry it around when it's flat.
Yeah.
So, but it's a good one. So definitely purchase that, or it comes, like I said, it comes with a protocol too. But the YouTube videos, and like I said, we are here to help. And when you call in, whether it's to the clinic for questions, If you haven't met with a counselor, or contacting the assistants, the people in the pharmacy can help out to a certain degree. For the most part, they're there to take orders. They can answer basic questions, but you may need to be diverted to the clinic for a little bit more help with some additional details. But even then, if you really get into some more intense discussion with someone in the clinic, they'll probably recommend that you meet with one of us, or get a protocol to help you get started, so you can really address some of your more personal issues.
If your situation, takes more than a 15-20 minutes,
Right.
half an hour to go over, you're probably needing a little bit more hands-on care through Generi. And that's what we're here for. We're here to help you. We're here to walk you through that. The staff is wonderful. They're very knowledgeable, but those that need to be are going to be funneled to Jen and I and Robert if it's a high-level case.
Right. And I know he often says that every single person in here is trained, and it's true. We all are, and we've all detoxed and experienced this for ourselves. But because of that volume, we do need to, according to physicians and whatnot, kind of divert if necessary. So again, if it takes more than that 15-20 minutes, remember there's so many of you out of there that need help, that we want to help. Each of us is here for a reason. We have a passion for helping others, and that compassion does show. So just be patient and be considerate of the other members, honestly, because we do get back to you.
And we understand that a lot of you are hurting, and when you call in, you want answers as soon as possible. And trust me, we get that, we understand that. But there's others that have called in too that are needing that same thing. And so really understanding that 24 to 48 hours is to be fair to everyone. If you do have an emergency, make sure that you note that in the subject line of an email, or you state that on a message that a voice message that you're leaving, because if it is an emergency, those calls are handled differently than other ones. And so, we try and handle everything in a timely fashion, but sometimes that does take a little longer, especially on busier days. We've got people literally calling from all over the world that and we want to treat everyone fairly. We want to get to them in a timely fashion too. So we want to help as many as we can, but that's why we would love for more and more of you to catch on to this and understand it and want to share and spread it.
Right, exactly.
So the truth will set you free.
Yes, it will. Very much so. I think, do you have anything else to add?
No.
Covered everything that I know of that has come up from experience.
Yeah.
And I hope that answers a lot of your questions with how you can actually get started and what your options are.
When it comes to food, that's one of the biggest questions that I think people get. And understand, if you're going from the standard American diet, you're going to be getting on a schedule if you're scheduling with us within 4, 5, 6 weeks, somewhere around in that time.
Within that. Yeah.
And understand one thing: if you're going from the standard American diet, shifting to a more of a raw fruits and vegetables, I don't think it matters whether you're eating oranges or apples or grapes or cucumbers or grapefruit. I mean, you're getting your body healthier. And so don't stress the food choices in that first 4 to 6 weeks or however long it takes. Just slowly start making that shift. Eat the fruits and vegetables that you enjoy. Eat them as raw as you can, but eat the ones that you enjoy. And I mean, even if you sat down to watermelons every day because you love watermelons, that's awesome. But some people are like, can I have coconuts? Can I have, dates? Can I have this? Well, obviously your dates are more concentrated and they're going to be a lot slower, but there's still huge health benefits to dates. So if you eat a date, it's not going to hurt you. It's just switching to that more of a raw diet. We'll talk in the consultations about more of a plan for how you should eat, but understand that shift at first, don't stress it.
Right.
Our goal is not to stress you, our goal is to de-stress you. In fact, part of detoxing is about de-stressing. So don't sweat the small stuff.
No, keep it simple.
Yeah.
I know I've heard him say that many times when I would sit in with him, and it's like, keep it simple. Eat your fruit as it is. Same with the veggies. You don't have to go through the time-consuming process of juicing, making
Right.
smoothies if you don't. I mean, if that's something you like, then that's fine.
Yep.
I am one of those that I just don't like prepping the fruit to put
Oh,
it through the juicer. I'd rather, like you said, have a watermelon, cut it in
Reach on
half
the
and
counter,
eat it.
shine up and that apple after it's
Yep.
been washed, and bite into it, and there's lunch.
Yep, it's so much easier
I
that way.
laugh at the people who say, I shouldn't say I laugh at the people, that sounded bad, because I used to be one of them, but it's so time consuming.
Right.
It doesn't have to be,
No,
doesn't have to be.
And I will
So-
say, I get frustrated with the amount you have to purchase to get a little bit of juice
Mhm.
out of that juicer. So,
Yeah.
just keep it simple.
Yeah.
And like she said, every little change. Don't be too concerned with what fruits and veggies should I focus on. We'll go over that with you if it's necessary.
Yes.
Make more of a plan. But when you're getting started, just go ahead, eat what you like, because we all have different
Yeah.
tastes.
I will say, if you are in serious trouble, cancer, MS, Parkinson's, the more raw you can get, the sooner, the absolute better. I do have one client that we have had to actually pull her back, and serious, severe neurological stuff going on. But she is so sensitive, and we have had to pull her back on that. You've got to fight that little tug of war that, how fast can I go and how fast will my body let me go? That's always going to potentially be a tug of war with some of those situations. So,
And that's where listening to your body really,
Yeah.
and knowledge really
Yeah.
comes in. So it's, every case is different, but everyone has to start somewhere. So just
Right.
get the ball rolling one way or another. And, again, we're here to guide you through it. Once you've established that contact, that membership and all that,
Yeah.
we can really help you out more from there. So, and
yes.
yeah.
We're very, very excited for those who are looking to get started.
Mhm.
Remember, that first step for you can be a first step for many. So we're excited about that.
Yes, we are. And I guess thanks for watching. And
Absolutely.
maybe some of you will see at the upcoming class. I know there's a few people I'm looking forward to
Yes.
finally meeting, because I haven't
Absolutely.
met them yet. So
Absolutely.
thanks for joining us, and have a good day.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful day.
Yep. Good week.
Yes. Bye.